Hello dear friends, this is Dmitro, your English tutor. In this lesson we will practice on a couple of photos for the task called Duolingo Speak About the Photo. I think the name speaks for itself. We are presented several photos which we must describe orally in 90 seconds. Obviously, if you have a high level of English, there is nothing difficult, nothing special for you. You just say, you convey what you see. In this case, you just speak. You may produce, I don't know, maybe 7 or 8 even sentences, or even maybe more within 90 seconds. There is no problem, yeah? But the majority of students, they have a problem with this because their level of English is not so high. Then we have, of course, two main problems. The first one is lack of vocabulary, and the second one is lack of insufficient ability to build natural and at the same time rich sentences while speaking. Of course, native speakers, they don't have problem with that. They may have, in theory, a problem with the vocabulary, with some specific vocabulary. For example, here we see some wood, lumber, timber processing, and yeah, I cannot be a specialist in all spheres of life, in IT, in timber processing, in meat processing, something like that. So, however, to achieve a high score at the test, I think you can do without it. You can do with a general vocabulary. I will show you how. Yeah. So, let's think about, imagine that you are developing algorithms for assessing guys, for assessing their description. Yeah? What would you pay attention to, apart from the vocabulary and grammar and so on? Logically, we start, for example, the first sentence with the overall picture, what's going on. The second sentence, what I see in the middle of the picture, and usually the main, our hero or the protagonist is located in the center, usually. So my second sentence, I think, is expected to be devoted to the center of the picture, in this case to this man, and what he is doing now. Then, the third sentence will be devoted, so if you have sufficient vocabulary, to this device, because he's working with it, yes. The fourth sentence will be devoted to probably his outlook, his outfit, but you know, there is always a problem with this close description, because a lot of students, they plunge into describing clothes, even if there are some other, I think, more preferable areas to describe. So please leave this, usually leave this description of clothes just for the final part of your description, if you have time for it. If not, you have some more more appealing areas. For example, here we see some house, interesting house, a window, one more man working with then I don't even know what it is, and then the woods, yes, some structures, the floor, I mean the ground covered with. So you can demonstrate the beauty of your vocabulary in these areas more than describing his t-shirt and his jeans. However, if you have problems with these concrete structures, yes, logs, planks, boards, and so on, of course, then you understand that our main crime here is keeping silent. Our let's say score killer, the main killer, is your keeping silent. Remember please this: it's better to speak with mistakes than to keep silent. So never keep silent at Duolingo in this description. Speak nonsense, speak gibberish, but don't keep silent. So not to keep silent, of course, if you are very stressed, you forgot this electric saw or some circular electric saw, special machine, lathe for processing. Of course, then describe his t-shirt, jeans, gloves, grizzled hair, and so on and so on, the beard, and how old he looks, and so on and so on. Okay, my friends, so let's speak about this photo. For example, you please think about how you would speak, because I'm a non-native speaker and I don't speak perfectly and I can make mistakes and so on and so on. Anyway, I'm sure I can get a very high score at Duolingo because firstly, I always speak, you see, and secondly, I describe pictures systematic, not systematically, in a systemized way, as I tell you. The first sentence, like what's going on, the second sentence, what's going on in the middle, then probably another character is doing something here, then the background, then probably something else, you see. And along the way I try to recall some terms. You know, the terms, special words from special spheres of life will add to your score, of course. The specific vocabulary, it's always very valuable if it is stuffed by you in the context properly. So, okay, let's speak about it for about 90 seconds. I will not reset the timer now. We will do it with the next photo. Okay, so in this photo I can see a man in the center of the picture processing wood. Obviously some timber from the forest, and he's holding a branch in his hand. He's cutting the branches with a circular electric saw. Such a powerful machine. Obviously it's dangerous, so he must be, in theory, he must be wearing the protective headgear, but he's not doing that, so it's not very wise of him. In the background I can see one more man, probably stacking or also cutting the woods. I don't know exactly because I cannot see, and I'm a bit excited now, so I don't know, but I think it's somewhere in Canada maybe, because the forest and the climate resembles me of this. In the background I can see a gray house, probably it's a residential house. In the distant background there is a forest with the trees. Some of them begin having yellow leaves, so probably it's the beginning of fall. The man is looking straight into the camera. He looks in his 30s, no, maybe 40s. He has long grizzled hair and he's sporting a short beard. Overall, the picture creates a feeling of a rural neighborhood with people getting ready for the winter, and at the same time probably cleaning the neighborhood from those brushes and bushes and all that stuff. Okay, you see, I have talked about something, and if we analyze my talk, I don't think that I have missed anything very important. I have described this. I forgot about the ground. Like the yard is, the ground is paved with, I think, concrete. You know, yes, a mixture of sand and cement. But I may be mistaken. Who knows? Yes, but looks like concrete. And the wall also looks plastered with concrete. Okay, my friends. So nobody's perfect. You can make mistakes, and we all make mistakes when we speak fast. You see, it's don't think about your mistakes while you're speaking. It's a very important aspect, because if you do, you will notice a lot of them. You will try to revert and to correct, but it's impossible, you understand? And so your speaking will turn into a nightmare. You have made a mistake, like mechanical, some slip of the tongue, nothing special. Even native speakers can do that when they speak fast, so don't worry about that. It's speaking is not writing. Okay, my friends, so let's open one more picture. I don't know what will two girls. Okay, some guys say that such pictures, when we have photos, can be referred to an easy level of the language. I don't agree absolutely. For me personally, it's maybe the most difficult to describe such faces. You know, to describe them thoroughly and in detail, you have to possess a great vocabulary of describing people, and most of you don't. But let's try to do it somehow. Okay, the timer is already ticking here, so I will intuitively feel about 90 seconds. Okay, in this photo, so you see, I don't care about in this picture, in this photo, like here, or just I can see I'm sure the algorithm pays attention to it, but not some great attention. They expect of you to disclose the beauty of your English in the body of your description, not in this introduction. Introduction can be crammed by anybody. Like in this polychromatic photo, I can observe, yeah, it's very nice, but and then what? Yeah, and two girls, and that's it. And so don't worry about how to start. In this picture, in this photo, I can see there are just the photo features, or the photo shows, the photo presents, the photo demonstrates, but demonstrates usually, when we use demonstrate, we mean the process, some process, and here we don't have a process, so I wouldn't use demonstrate here. But if you said it demonstrates to girls, not a big deal. It's not don't be over concerned with minutiae, as they call it, minor details. Think globally, think about your overall presentation and some interesting words or terms if you can use them. If not, okay, you will use general words and still get, let's say, a relative like 100 for your description, and we understand that you can get more for some other tasks and your overall score will be good. Okay, so in this polychromatic photo I clearly see two girls. I think they're sisters. One of them is obviously much older than the other. So this girl on the right looks in her, maybe, I don't know, from 15 to 20 years of age, and this one is like 4 or 5 years old. They're wearing different, let's say, climate types of clothes, because the girl on the right is wearing a light, I think, blouse or t-shirt, and blouse, yes, while this little kid is wearing a velvet jacket. So they have the similar color of hair, which is dark, brunette. They are quite tanned. Of course, they originate from, I think, from maybe Asia, or I don't know exactly. They are both looking into the camera, straight. I think the little girl is a bit shy. Yes, so a bit skittish. So, she's trying to smile, but I think it looks more of a mixture of a smile with reserve. The girl on the right is trying to keep such a serious composure and not express any exact emotions. But yes, their eyes are dark brown. They're beautiful. They're both beautiful. These ponytails with the girl on the right, or maybe this ponytail, no, this ponytail maybe belongs to the girl on the left, I don't know. It has also got this rubber, a little, I don't remember the exact term, the elastic rubber on the end. Overall, this picture creates a warm feeling of such a domestic feeling, when this is a family, everybody loves each other, and everything is serene and balanced. Yeah, something like that. I have described mostly everything. Those types of noses, of lips, of cheeks, of temples, to describe it fast and beautifully is a very challenging task. So I didn't take a risk and didn't go in that direction, because when I'm a bit excited I don't remember. Curly hair, yeah, but those types of noses, you know, it's not so. I know these words, but now when I'm excited I forgot, so I'm not obliged to sit, lose my seconds, create silence and memorize those terms. Okay, let's open one more. Okay, let's do it straight away. In this photo there is a lady sitting on the left and a massive table occupying most of the picture, I guess. So the lady, probably it's some kind of a creative workshop or a laboratory. The lady is sorting some small black things. I don't know what it is. Probably she's creating some work of art, because the overall mess in this room reminds me of something very creative. The lady is in her 40s or 50s, I think, and an interesting detail here is that she's wearing, I think, mostly warm clothes, so it's not so warm in this room. In the center there are two vertical pillars or pipes. Maybe these are some supporting structures for the ceiling, I don't know. In the background there are a lot of miscellaneous objects. I don't even know to which spheres of activity they belong, I don't know, but it's impossible for me to tell. The illumination, I think, is mostly artificial here. Probably in the background there is a window and the light is partially penetrating through the window, but I think that the table is illuminated by some lamp, which we don't see, at least I don't see. So the lady, in her left hand she's holding a pack or a little plastic bag, and in her right hand she's trying to get hold of some small, as I have already said, white, maybe plastic pieces. Maybe she wants to sort them and later create some toy of them. Also, by the way, there is this chopped or sliced white material on the right. So yes, a very interesting creative feeling. Okay, something like that. So you see, my friends, the main thing is not to keep silent. I always nag and cajole, as they say, my students to do it, but you know, a lot of them, they have their own mind, of course, their own outlook and position, and I feel that inside they are going to stick to their own principles, and when they describe, they sometimes keep silent for 5 seconds. I tell them, you kill yourself, don't do that. Speak about, I don't know, speak about this pencil on the table, but don't keep silent. This pencil obviously is not important, I mean overall, yeah, but it's better that it's red, it's sharp, maybe on both edges. My eyes don't allow me to see clearly here, but on both edges it is lying on the table. Probably the lady has put it on the table. Probably the lady is going to take it and going to draw something with it. You see, I have occupied from 10 to 20 seconds with the talk about this pencil. It's much better than to be stressed, like be paralyzed and to keep silent. The algorithm doesn't care about your nerves or something like that. It wants to hear from you some natural language. It's not so easy on the part of a native speaker or non-native speaker to emulate the presentation by a native speaker, we understand. On the other hand, most of you don't need 160 for your Duolingo. I always tell you, you need 110, 115, 120, something like that. So it's sufficient to speak a lot and with enthusiasm to get 110 or 115 and 120. Okay, my friends, if you need urgent assistance in your Duolingo preparation, you're welcome to write to me directly. I provide the contact details on the screen and in the description. We work quite successfully. Sometimes we raise the score for, let's say, 15 points, for example, yeah, within 2 weeks, which is amazing, as some of my students say. Okay, I love you, wish you success, and see you in the following lesson.